Okay, folks, we're back, right? Is that what we are? So that's what I should say. So when Amanda says, you know, I've only been doing this for 2 years. I'm BKP, your host. When Amanda says we're going live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, we're back is actually, right? Good morning from the office. North Georgia's only live online morning show. Hey, I told you we were going a different direction. So we're expecting a phone call. Let me tell you what we're expecting, okay? We're expecting a phone call now from Pennsylvania. And I'll tell you why we're calling. You need to pay attention. I don't care where you're at. You've got to pay attention to this. I know they're talking about kids laying down on the front of the White House protesting guns. I know they're screaming and yelling at the microphone to increase background checks, tighten them. I know that. But the story I'm bringing you is the story, period. End of story. No, we're not at the end of the story yet. But here we go. All right. 2 most dangerous men. I'm going to, when we go to card, you're used to the show. We're just going to take like a 50-second break, plug this person in. We're going to have the chairman, Lee Snover, the chairman of the Northampton Republican Party, chairman of the Northampton Republican Party in Pennsylvania, calling in. Now, this is a big county. This is a county, an enormous county, 60 miles population-wise, 60 miles north of Philadelphia. 60 miles north of Philadelphia, all right? This county voted twice for Barack Obama. Went twice for Barack Obama, this county did. This county was flipped to red, Donald Trump, red. Okay, this person, Lee Snover, knows the entire state, number one. She was a Donald Trump elector from Pennsylvania, knows the state, been on state committee for years for the Republican Party, is in the fight that I'm about to tell you, where the Pennsylvania Supreme Court approved redistricting, the congressional redistricting. What does that mean for you? Let's go real fast because she might call. The 2 most dangerous men in America, okay? Put them up, okay? That's Barack Hussein Obama and Eric Holder. Now, they have a lot of missions out there, but their main mission, let's put up the NDRC. Now, the NDRC, which is chaired, this story is old for some of you people. The political system is rigged. The fight to fix it is now. We're feeling it too. That feeling that our political system is unfair for our voters don't count. Our votes do not count. The gerrymandering of the congressional and legislative districts locks in Republican majority and locks out voters. We have a plan. We have a plan to make the system fair and get democracy working again, and we need your help to do it. That's the NDRC. Who is the chair of the NDRC? Eric Holder is the chair. Eric Holder said, the biggest rigged system in America is gerrymandering. Together we can change and restore the fairness of our democracy. Eric Holder. Now, Barack Obama has the OFA, Organizing for America. Do you have that? There you go. That's Organizing for America. Obama's Organizing for America and the NDRC is the same thing pushed together. They are ready for the primary. So let me go to the stories that I have been telling you over and over. Why Pennsylvania? Because Georgia, you're next. Texas, you're next. Anywhere that a state went red, because Pennsylvania, the reason I want to go over this, take that one down. The reason I want to go over this because remember, Pennsylvania was fool's gold, right? Why did John McCain, all right? Why did he campaign so hard in Pennsylvania? It's fool's gold for Republicans, remember? Why did Mitt Romney, when he ran for president, campaign so hard in Pennsylvania? Who told Romney he had a chance in Pennsylvania? Because it's fool's gold. Well, the state of Pennsylvania is tired of it, And if you look at the congressional map today, it is a red state with 2 blue regions, Philadelphia and Pittsburgh. Is she there? Okay, we have our caller, so just stay there. We're not going to commercial, just 10 seconds.
Okay, so
wait. Hey, we're back, folks. We're back. New Pennsylvania map gives Democrats big boost in midterms. Now, before I went to the brief break to get our guest on, new Pennsylvania map gives Democrats big boost for midterms. I told you, McCain, they said it was fool's gold, Pennsylvania. Romney said it was fool's gold. Eric Holder and Barack Obama are the 2 most dangerous men in America. 2. Okay, the NDRC, redistricting, gerrymandering, you keep hearing it, you hear it from me. They have to get Pennsylvania back. My guest right now is the chairman of the Northampton County Republican Committee, Republican Party, Lee Snover. How are you, Lee?
I'm doing good.
I mean, you're in a county and in a region where you've been redistricted. Tell us what the Pennsylvania Supreme Court did to the state of PA yesterday, and how does that reflect on the nation and what's happening with the House of Representatives there in your state?
Okay, folks, we have a constitutional crisis in Pennsylvania right now. According to the Constitution of the state of Pennsylvania, the legislature, which is our state representatives, do the mapping of the congressional districts. It's right in our Constitution. Well, yesterday, the Democrat Supreme Court of Pennsylvania decided the districts weren't fair because Republicans keep winning. They issued a new map and are demanding that our congressmen run under their map. They redistrict against the Constitution, and we don't know what to do. We petitioned the United States Supreme Court to step in, and they won't hear it. So we're in a constitutional crisis. The Constitution says the legislator does the mapping, and the courts took it over yesterday.
Well, wait a minute. So what you're saying is in the state of Pennsylvania, because people in Georgia, the reason we're bringing this in is you're next. You're next in Georgia because the Republican 6th district, the reason Karen Handel, they say, is the representative and lost to John Ossoff. I mean, won in the John Ossoff race is because gerrymandering, what used to be Tom Price and Newt Gingrich district. So, Georgia, you better pay attention to what we're talking about. So, your state legislature...
George Soros is behind this. George Soros is behind this. I'm telling you. Pennsylvania is like the 3rd or 4th largest Republican delegation in Congress. We have 13 Republican congressmen. This map was drawn 8 years ago. There were no complaints about the map. We keep winning. Now that we've won over and over, the Democrats, under the League of Women, a partisan organization that claims to be nonpartisan, petition the court saying it must be gerrymandered because they're winning.
Whoa, wait a minute. So what you're saying is the current map, not the new one from the Supreme Court of Pennsylvania, the current map has been in place for 8 years, drawn 8 years ago, and actually several of those seats, if you go back 8 years ago, were blue, and what happened is Republicans started turning those seats red, and they had to put a stop to it.
Exactly. Now, they did not challenge it 8 years ago. They had an opportunity in court to challenge it then, but they were winning. So they didn't even bother. But now we keep winning. So here comes George Soros, big money, and League of Women Voters, which pretend to be nonpartisan. They file a complaint saying it's gerrymandered for Republicans, and the Pennsylvania Supreme Court, which is a Democrat court, threw out our congressional maps. And do you know our election is very close, and petitions are supposed to be being circulated, and congressmen don't even know where to go. They actually redistrict congressmen out of their district.
Oh, well, okay. I want to double up on that really quick if you have a minute. That's what I read that shocked me, is the Supreme Court came back with a 4-3 or 5-4 decision. They drew a new map. We have looked at the map this morning. They've redrawn the map. And this is for the current election. This is how fast this is happening. This is the current election. So you have congressmen drawn out of their district that are going to have to run now in areas that they don't represent or not know exactly where they need to campaign. Correct?
Exactly. We have congressmen that own homes in districts that they're not going to be in anymore. And we have congressmen that have already started, candidates that have started campaigning who have spent $45,000, $60,000, $90,000 already ramping up their campaign, and now they've been written out of the district they're campaigning in. It is a complete nightmare.
They're sitting there this morning saying, we sure as hell didn't need to buy those billboards down that highway.
And, they're talking about people are just going to run anywhere in Pennsylvania. I mean, it is a mess. And we need the U.S. Supreme Court to step in. I want to see the RNC down here, the Republican National Committee. I want to see the media covering this. Why all of a sudden, after 8 years, when there were no complaints, we allowed a activist court to go make a new congressional map? Who ever heard of such?
Well, now, wait a minute. I got another thing, too. How can you get now the election offices to understand, because I understand it here in Georgia, and it's not a big difference across the country. How do you get these election offices to understand now printing their ballots, who is actually registered in the right district? I'm going to tell you what, we did this in Georgia, but we didn't redistrict. The population grew to where we got an additional seat. You know what I mean? But even when that happened and we had to split a district because of population reasons, people did not know where to vote. They would go to the wrong district to vote. I mean, this is a nightmare to me.
It is. It is completely. It's going to be chaos. Petition circulation already started in Pennsylvania, and they did not allow, the PA Supreme Court put a stop on it, not allowing candidates for Congress to circulate a petition. So they put even the petition period on hold because they're working on these maps. This is the 7th map that's been introduced, and it's all because we're winning. So what they did, if you look at the new map, it's gerrymandered completely for Democrats.
Okay, that's what I want to know.
Yes, they made sure a city is in every rural district. That part of a city is in every rural district, so we can't guarantee any wins. Okay, so what they did is they split up their cities into all the rural districts.
So what they did is they pushed the suburbs into a rural district and an area of a city to balance, not what they're going to call balance out, but actually bring just enough vote to stop that Republican for winning by 2%, 3% in that district.
Yeah, they pushed out Philly, the outskirts of Philly. They pushed that out into several districts to dilute us from being able to win. Now, we have 13 seats now. And the map I saw yesterday, we'll be lucky if we have 5. Are
you serious? You actually could lose. Is 8 and 5 13? I think so.
Yeah, they think we may lose 8 seats because, as I said, they divided. Let's say they took a city and divided it 4 ways and made sure that city got into all the rural districts to dilute the Republican vote. So
in one state alone, George Soros could bring down 8 seats, and he's already got what, 1/3 of how many he needs to take back the House, and just in one state.
Yes, and this is all about impeaching Trump, people.
We know.
Actually, you guys need to be calling your own congressman and tell them, do something now, because we don't know where to turn. I mean, we are begging people to help us. This is a constitutional crisis. Our Constitution says that our legislator makes the maps. And we have activist judges stepping in and making their own map.
Judges. Folks, we're going to talk about activist judges. That's on my list. That's why I told you. We're not talking the Parkland shooter. Don't take that wrong, folks. We're not talking that. We're not talking Russia. We're talking this because we're peeling back the onion, and America needs to pay attention. I got one more question before you go. I know you have to go into a meeting. What do you mean you're going to the Supreme Court? What do you think the outcome is going to be? What are you guys doing across the state? How in tune are you with some of what I call the big guys or the Republican leadership across the state of PA? What is happening?
Okay, so what happened is, right when this came down, that the court said they agreed that the state was too leaning Republican and they had to redo the maps, we petitioned the United States Supreme Court to stay it, to stop it, and they wouldn't hear it. They said it wasn't a federal issue, but we argue it is a federal issue because these congressmen go to Washington. It is a federal issue. So we are going to petition the United States Supreme Court to stop this, to put a stay on it until it can be resolved.
It is a federal issue for the simple reason, Lee. And I'll say it like this, I mean, for a simple reason, regardless of the courts, congressmen have to file their campaign finance reports not in the state, at the federal level, period. End of story.
Exactly.
So I can go and I can get all of my local representatives' campaign finance reports, my local senators, right down here in Atlanta. But if I need Doug Collins' campaign finance report, I got to get it through the federal campaign finance reporting. So it is a federal situation. Well,
but we need help from the National Republican Party. We need help from the other states to make people aware this could be happening to them. Like I said, we could lose 8 representatives in this one state, and the goal is to impeach Trump, and these people are not giving up. And now they couldn't win in the ballot box, so now they're changing the districts.
Oh, I know. The 2 most dangerous black men in America is Barack Obama and Eric Holder. The NDRC, the National Democrat Redistricting Committee. Gerrymandering, they're out there, and I've been preaching this for a long time. I know you're busy. When will the Supreme Court? I got to let you go. I know that. When will the Supreme Court hear that, or have they made a decision if they will hear it?
I don't know. I'm hoping we hear. This map just came out yesterday.
Yeah,
so I don't know anything yet. I'm going to try to find out today what's going on, but we're going to go back to the Supreme Court and get this stopped. We have to.
All right, text me later today if anything goes through, and I'll be keeping an eye on the internet. And I know this is probably your drive time to work, and we appreciate you taking your drive time out to talk to us and our listeners. And I mean, if we got to talk every day, we'll talk every day.
We also have a special election in PA. I don't know if you're keeping track of that. It's called PA 18.
Yes.
Rick's account. So we have a special election going on, and they actually redistrict that seat. So even if he wins a special election, that whole congressional district is changed.
So the guy that could win the special election that Trump just endorsed, that district has changed, and he actually would win a seat that he's actually being redistricted out of.
Yes, that whole district's being changed, and we have a special election right now. It's insanity.
George Soros should be in jail, folks. I gotta go, Lee. Thank you so much.
Right.
That's the breaking news.
Have a good day,
folks. Amanda, were you able to hear the interview?
I was.
Did we break news?
You just broke news.
I mean, and who's paying attention, right?
Yep.
Folks, we're going to take a brief break. We're going to come back. We're going to talk more about Pennsylvania because I want to clip this. I want to clip right from the interview.